Steve-O on Adam Friedland Cumtown podcast. Everybody's talking, you got to see this Steve-O. Does anyone in the chat know of any parts?
What's the best part?
Because we kind of put it on the background.
But then I feel like we weren't paying attention that well.
Is what's happening? Is Steve-O finally being seen as the fool we've always known him to be? I feel like I keep hearing Steve-O chatters if people are ready to go after him and turn. Which I like because, you know, for years I've been deeply annoyed by Steve-O. When he's coming on and doing the manscape to me and I get really annoyed, and I feel like he reminds me of another guy we're going to show you, Jimmy Carr. I feel like Steve-O came to the conclusion that he had to get his ass up and doing something because this money's going to run out. And then he kind of used podcasting as his last hope. You're seeing Pauly Shore do this now. You're seeing Jimmy Carr do this, which I'm going to show you, which is real despicable. But it's like all these old guys, and in reality, their 15 minutes of fame should kind of be over. But they're all kind of taking, the next or their last big leap here. The clock's ticking. No, go ahead. What time?
It gets good at the latter half and the end.
Towards the end. So to me, it seems like Steve doesn't really want to do these podcasts. He doesn't really enjoy doing them. And he kind of goes there with this pre-written monologue. And you could tell because every time Steve-O's on a podcast, people tend to interrupt him, not let him finish his story. And to me, it just comes off as a big phony, an annoyance. And there's really nothing. Steve-O was, again, Steve-O, you got to remember what you are. You're there like Logan Paul is to WWE. We want to see you fly off something and hit something. That's it. We don't want your takes. When did it ever become a thing where we want to hear the takes of Steve-O? That was never the idea. But you let him in, and guess what? He's going to do it differently because he's building a podcast, get this, mobile podcast station. Kill me with the mobile podcast setup. Seriously. That might be one of the least creative ideas anyone could have. And guess who gets them? Eddie Ift, Steve-O, all the biggest dumbasses, because they have this fantasy where they have a man cave on wheels. And they could get out of the house from the kid. Eddie Ift, he puts on his kid hat. Eddie Ift. Have you seen how Eddie Ift dresses? The old skateboarder, and he goes down to Venice Beach, and he wants to do the show out of a van that he's forced his listeners to pay through some sort of GoFundMe, probably. And then what? You're in the van, and it fucking sucks. You got a wide-angle junky camera shoved right by your face with some insane side view of you, and then it cuts to another insane shot. You usually all think you should put green screen elements in the windows or something so that it looks awful, it sounds awful, and at the end of the day, you're the one, for hours and hours a day, crammed into the back of a fucking bus. Even Rosa Parks knew that was lunacy to be back there. You want to spend all your time back there. It's insane. So anyone who builds a mobile podcast studio is stupid. Can you remember that? All right, let's see. Now, I'm kind of starting to like Adam Friedland and Nick Mullen because I feel like they secretly want to expose fools, but they're kind of afraid to openly do it because they still don't want to get in trouble. So they kind of pretend and they hide behind the characters and they hide behind the skits. But the vibe of this show to me lately has been a little like they're after people a little bit. Like they want to kind of make people look stupid, right? And that's how I look at Nathan. I used to look at Tim Heidecker like that, where your comedy to me has the vibe of shitting on someone. So I always like that. I like when people expose parts of a fool that has been in front of our nose all along, but we're finally coming together to agree that this behavior sucks. So can I watch this like that? Are they setting up Steve-O and getting him to say stupid stuff and kind of going, oh my God, Steve-O's a fool? Is that what the vibe is here? I don't know. Let's see. I'll play a little bit of it.
There are two guys in
Mythbusters. You got fucking scammed like that girl.
Yeah.
Some guys are like, come spend the weekend with us for the Mythbusters.
I think you're talking about the Property Brothers.
Yeah.
No, this guy was featured in
Property Brothers is a funny thing to say in that type of voice.
The most recent Jackass movie. He was there when we lit the fart underneath the water and there was like the big explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I got to know him.
The other problem about these Steve-O things, he's exhausting. You're not meant to do 10 podcasts a week telling the same stories over and over again. I mean, really, to be able to even do it at this level, it's lunacy. So he's exhausted. He's spent. And guess what? The sound of his own voice isn't exciting anymore. He used it up. He got so greedy. He thought, oh, the more podcasts I'm on, the more users I'll have, which equals the more money. Great. Let's abuse that system and grind and do what what's that guy did with the songs, the 1,000 songs? That creepy gay guy with the acne all over his lips who did 1,000 songs. What's his name, Jules? Creepy guy, 1,000 song album.
Oh, Mac DeMarco.
Mac DeMarco. You used up so selfishly. You used up all your creativity and you burned yourself out of what you've got left. Steve-O, I mean, you're doing 10 podcasts a week, every fucking week of your life, talking for 6 hours a day about these stories. So now look at you. Look what you've become. And once you burn out, they really see you for the guy that you always were. And that's where people start turning. And it always starts with, they're not the same. They're boring now. They're boring now. I know, it's just because you've realized they really only had a few stories to tell. And boy, have they told them. So is that what Steve-O's going through now? Because I feel it in the air.
Exchange phone numbers, and then I reached out asking about peeing on a toaster, and he said if the toaster is actually legitimately plugged into the wall, that could be really bad news. Like, please don't fuck with that. He said, however, I will
esoteric
rig it
that
up
was me.
so that it's not
Could have been them, huh?
too gnarly where you're going to be electrocuted.
That's the cool thing, because this could have been one of their shots, like this. That's how esoteric and New York they are. Oh, I couldn't possibly come up with that, Friedland. I like that it's a thing where I'm kind of have like a jealous rivalry with all the Jew guys. Yeah. Isn't that right, Klein? You know, and I have every right to.
But like, I'll make sure that you get a fucking good fucking whack of electricity to your dick.
Oh, I think Dr. Anthony Fauci was the guy.
They just put it into a car battery or something?
This is the problem, because just like you guys said, it's towards the latter half of the show, you'll see. Well, we put this on the other day, and it's too boring to see. So what starts happening is Steve-O is so boring. I start playing this, I go, I don't know what the fuck is he
You're thinking about something else before you even realize it.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, I haven't even paid attention, and then I'm not catching the parts. So I need you guys to be specific with this one, because I think Steve-O hypnotizes me.
Just go to the very end and see if it's awkward when he leaves.
Yeah.
That's always good.
Most replayed. I like that. That's another reason to not be on YouTube. These disgusting things that they humiliate and dehumanize us with. Most replayed. That ain't art. If I had it up to me, there would be no timeline that you could even scrub through. You watch it from the beginning to end in one sitting.
The big three. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, here we go.
And
Most replayed.
you know, I don't know. Yeah, Chris Tucker loved that island.
I'm just glad no one in your crew went there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh. Sounds like someone did.
Someone did, definitely.
Yeah. Wee Man?
Vinny, and he didn't bring him.
Oh, he's turning in.
Yeah, Vinny. Vinny left him at home.
Can you please put Vinny in the next Jackass?
Does he feel like he doesn't know if they're making fun of him, so he's getting nervous and quiet, and he's given up? What's going on here? Steve-O, you deserve this.
Yeah, Vinny.
Will you ever learn from it, though?
Please put Vinny in the next Jackass movie.
That'd be awesome.
If there was a next Jackass movie,
You'd
the
be like,
answer would be no.
Are you guys
Steve-O.
gonna like hand the baton off to like a younger generation of people that want to hurt themselves?
I don't.
I went to elementary school with Rachel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Vegas.
Sick.
So are you checked out? Do you want to go?
You're in love with Vinny.
Are you checked out?
Do you want to go? Are you done?
Oh.
Did you have a bad time? It's okay.
Oh, okay. This is like when they found out that wrestler on Kill Tony was whack. If you have to ask someone, did you have a bad time? Do you want to go? Imagine that. Imagine how that would feel. Let's see this go down. So this is good.
Sick.
So are you checked out? Do you want to go?
You're
Are
in
you
love
checked
with
out?
Vinny. It's not.
Do you want to go? Are you done? Did you have a bad time? It's okay.
No,
You
no,
can
no,
totally
dude,
say
I'm
it.
not even going to say I had a bad time.
But that means yes. You're just not going to say it. It's okay. You can have a bad time. Dude, this podcast sucks.
really
It's all right.
annoying
It's
guys.
not, yeah.
You absolutely did not offend me.
I'm Steve-O, and this is
okay.
breaking up.
We
the
didn't say
Vinny
offend.
No, we're not
is taking
offense.
my power.
offense.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was you. Yeah, it's not about offense. It's, something's up here.
This isn't the issue. It's just being bored.
No, I'm
Okay.
chilling. I'm good, man.
Ooh.
And my executive assistant, Isaac, gave me the heads up about how you clowns operate.
What did he say? He's like,
Whoa.
hey,
What did he say,
this
Isaac?
sucks. And
He
they're
said,
not
he said, hey, heads up,
It's all
dude.
Isaac.
This
was
is the
talking
end
out
of
his ass
Steve-O.
about us.
He's like,
Isaac,
hey,
keep my name out of your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
he said, hey, I just want to give you the heads up.
And
you know?
this is the type of guy who goes to bed worried sick about everybody turning on him. That's what's the best part about this guy. I mean, there's probably not a free second in his mind where he's not nauseously worrying about losing his fan base, becoming a nothing, having to live on the streets even, I really, he's probably shaking with that fear day in and day out. It's probably very hard for him to sleep. So when moments like this happen, you could see how it's just twisting him up inside. It really stings on an old washed up fuck like Steve-O.
These guys, like, they're
And it's even
They'll
worse when
probably
you go on a
come at-
podcast like this where they're going to be trying to annoy you or
Yeah.
whatever, and then you still let them get to you.
You let them get to you. And then you're also really ashamed. It comes from shame because it was like when Joe Matarese got made fun of at his own roast. You're afraid that you're not in on the joke and everybody's doing these jokes and laughing at your expense somehow, but you're too much of a boomer to even know what type of comedy they're doing. So you start getting almost mad at yourself for aging out of the community here, worrying about that, am I being set up as an old boomer here? What's going on?
Here with some,
We're not coming at you.
He said they might. He said,
wait.
He
Coming
said,
in.
hey, I just want to give you the heads up. These guys, like, they'll probably come at you with some.
We're not coming at you.
He said they might. He said they might
They
come
are.
at me.
Why do you fucking say this?
With some
Why would you,
Oliver Tree.
Steve-O,
I'm going to tell you, here's all you need to know. If you feel like Friedland is messing with you, he is. That's all this kid does. Think about if Ricky Glassman grew up in the Bronx. It's trouble. You can't have these. New York is a sick, dangerous place. And these people are sadistic. This is like if Lucian Wintrich was Jewish. Any man with this clean cut, these lips, these are Lucian lips. This is New York danger. This is like what Dahmer would be doing now if he had the internet. Because it's pretty much in your face every day that you can't be out killing people. So they turn it into these really, haven't you seen Cruel Intentions? These rich New York people, they think of some sick ways to
And
torture
other
you.
people, like Dave Portney was just on for an interview, and the whole time he was going, I don't get this.
I don't get it.
But it's like, you can be an old boomer and just be like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but you could-
Steve-O wants to be like cool,
Yeah.
young, and
Oh, yeah.
he gets what's going on.
And he turned in on himself. And he turned in on others.
confuses himself.
And when these guys, and I like how they do, we didn't know. See, they live in that's what I mean. They're getting off on Steve-O's discomfort. That's what I like. I wish they would, lean towards that more.
Are you going to
Nothing
grow
to
your
be
hair
afraid.
long like that?
I might grow my hair long now because of it.
I've been wanting you to try.
Tell the Mullins.
I've been wanting
Tell
you
the Mullins.
to
That's what their
try.
families called on this show, the Mullins.
Might come at me.
Why do you fucking say this?
With some
Why would
Oliver
you,
Tree.
Steve-O, you're a beloved cultural
Oh,
figure.
thanks.
You changed my life.
I love it. I love that.
We love you. I don't know why.
I
He
went to
likened
fucking
you to
Park-
Oliver Tree. You know, like Oliver Tree.
I
It's
thought-
like
I
weird
thought-
trolling.
No,
kind of thing.
that's not. We don't even know what that is. We thought.
What the fuck is Oliver Tree?
Look, we thought that you might be upset because you thought this was the Adam.
Like Oliver Tree, you know, when he locks you into what you like can't understand what's going on.
It's like it's not that complicated.
If you can't get out of an Oliver Tree bit, you're in trouble. It's like Oliver Tree. It's impossible to know what he's thinking. Wow. That's the weakness we're talking about, Steve-O. You fear Oliver Tree as if it's all of 4chan coming for you or something. He's like scared of it like that. You guys are like Oliver Tree, but not as bad. He's the worst one.
Friedland show, and then you realize it was the Adam Friedland show podcast,
This is subtle.
which is dog shit. We hate podcasting. We don't like doing it.
We
And so
love you.
we thought I thought I was reading it as maybe you were upset, thinking this was going to be the regular talk show.
See, and here's the deal. You don't put yourself in a situation where another man could ride bit on you. Never put your, like, you'll never see me sitting there not knowing and two guys like goofing. You know not to work with those people. That's what they do. They make the guest just the fool, the stooge. So to allow yourself to even be that person, what do you think's going to happen? That's like these people who do these interviews with Bobby. Hair extension, Bobby, the tennis player. They do these interviews with her. And they don't know. They don't have a plan. So what they do is they try mimicking her style. They try doing the bit along with her. It's like when Oliver Tree and Ethan play. The Rick Glassman term, play, meaning riffing. This is Rick Glassman. Industry to him is play. That means when you and a comic riff with each other. That's playing to Rick. When Ethan and Oliver Tree play, Ethan doesn't know how to be the straight man. So he starts mimicking Oliver Tree, and then Oliver starts getting embarrassed. I've had this happen on my show where I had other comics on and I'm acting like me, and then they try to start acting. That's not what I'm asking for. And Oliver Tree is not asking for that. And even stupid extensions Bobby is not asking for that. So unless you're ready to be a fool, then don't go on these shows because there's no.
You're not going to win.
You're not going to win. You're there to be the fool. You better know that. And if you don't know that, well, now look at you. You're about to cry, and Nick Mullen is about to burst out laughing in your face. And they're excited to put this out, and they love that people are picking up on how stupid you were, and and then they'll go, no. We love Steve-O. Yeah, you love him like I love William Hung.
All right.
Yeah, so I thought maybe we wasted your time this whole time.
I mean, here's the thing, dude.
No, we would never come at
jokes
you.
about you and Vinny
Dude,
being in love.
I'm honored to be a part of your show, man.
No, Jackass.
You know what pisses me off?
That commentary on Jackass it truly is funnier than like
It's the funniest thing of all time.
yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
And it holds up.
That scares the shit out of these guys. What you said earlier, Josh Denny has been in situations like this where he goes, are they trolling? What you said about Jackass earlier was one of the funniest things. And now he's like, oh, fuck.
Josh did this super 3-hour-long interview with these guys. I'm
Yeah.
not sure who they were. But they seemed to know everything about him. And then at the end, they were like, seriously, Josh, you're amazing. We're just huge
We are
fans.
just so honored to be.
I think that they
in
were
your
genuinely complimenting him, but he got so scared because he thought they were about to do a switcheroo on him.
Well, that's what's happening to Steve-O now. The more they try to tell him they're not making fun of him secretly, the more he gets confused and the more scared he gets.
And I can go back and watch them, and it still makes me laugh.
Oh,
and it makes
dude.
me hate myself and my
Check
career.
this out.
No.
On Paramount Plus,
Mhm.
they
Which I will not be checking.
I haven't.
Yeah.
You lost me, pal.
Whoa!
I don't.
No. He's not ready to riff. So you guys are making fun of him then. He ain't. Come on. He's finally trying to get down to some ground level here with you two. You're screwing up his mind. See, he's cracking up back here.
Which I don't subscribe.
When Friedland only laughs when someone else is in pain. Friedman doesn't laugh at a guest's. You know what I mean? Like Friedman is sitting there going, he's laughing all of a sudden at Steve-O's boring ass cope. No, he's dying laughing because he's got something maniacal going on in his head.
Lost me, pal.
See?
I don't
Paramount
think
Plus.
He doesn't laugh like that at Steve-O. Okay, he laughs like that at Steve-O.
Streaming service, which I don't subscribe to.
Yeah.
But I have been made aware that if you are on Paramount Plus and select an episode of the original Jackass TV show, it starts off with a warning.
Get him,
It says,
Friedland.
this program
Get him.
is like in its original.
See, Rick Glassman does this too, where you're going, do it, Rick. You know you want to do it. And then they have these two sides, and you're going, well, maybe they're not even doing what I think they're doing. But they must be. Get 'em, Rick is the term for a sneaky Jew about to do something. Get 'em, Rick. From Rick Glassman.
He does sometimes get them.
Like,
Yeah.
It has not been changed since when it came out during a time with outdated social norms.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Starts out with an apology
Yeah.
for like suggesting that
Friedland's
that,
tiring of
it
this.
hasn't aged well. And I
But there's
think
nothing
Paramount-
there's nothing in Jackass
Get 'em.
that's culturally
Get 'em,
insensitive.
Rick.
Exactly.
People are hurting themselves.
Paramount Plus can suck a fart out of my asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff that they do, they would do
They're
that
mocking
for
you.
where, like,
Mocking you.
it's just misinterpreted and
I
it would be
think it's
dumb.
aged
But
very well.
Suck a fart out of my asshole. Who are you, Roseanne?
That's the name of his next book.
Suck a fart. Oh, that's so fucking edgy. You're a washed up stooge. Jump headfirst into a skate park and go away.
Well,
But yeah, there's
I think
nothing in Jackass.
Funniest
It's,
thing ever.
it's pure and it's visceral.
I just want to see if there's
Which
one more.
is-
I'm so
yeah.
sorry.
It's kind
It's
of
wholesome.
It should be your goal as a comedian to aim for that. I mean, it is. It's
wholesome.
it's the physical version of Brian Regan. If that
And
makes
also,
any sense.
it's you can show
Oh, if you
it-
didn't like the curse, you're not going to like this coverage of this. This feels like the curse, this show. They've got a lot of curse energy. Okay, well, I'm excited.
Loved it.
Keep your eye on Steve-O. If he starts deteriorating in the public eye, let me know. I am into Steve-O being a fool stuff.